Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and today we have some more official custom-printed Ninjago minifigure torsos to look at. Now that might sound a little contradictory to be both official and custom, and that's because these come from the LEGO Minifigure Factory. If you're not familiar with what Minifigure Factory is, it's a service that LEGO offers at their flagship stores as well as on LEGO.com, where you can actually design your own custom minifigure torso. And quite often, LEGO will do these special events where they have like these pre-designed torsos where technically they're still custom, but you don't have to draw the design yourself. Instead, you can pick from a pre-selected group of designs. So about a month ago, I went up to the LEGO store in New York and got a bunch of these here, including the official Fortnite designs, as well as just some general Ninjago designs, so let's take a look at all of them. So I've got 15 different torsos here that I designed. 4 of them are the Fortnite designs, and 11 of them are just general Ninjago designs. Now, the way Minifigure Factory works is there's 2 different types of graphics. There's full torso designs like the Fortnite ones, where this is a complete graphic that prints over the entire torso. If you wanted to, you can modify this even further and like add text and graphics on top, but this is only going to be printed at one size and it's meant to be like your base layer. And then the other type of design is stickers. Now the way I do the stickers is I just make them big and make them the full focus of the torso, but you have a lot more freedom with these, and you can put multiple stickers on one torso and make them any size you want. So these torsos you see right here are all stickers. We've got Nia's symbol and the Source Dragon of Flow right here, and I'll point out what's stickers and what's a full torso design. But if you wanted to, you can make one torso with all 6 of these symbols on it. I just chose the way I wanted to do it is just one symbol per side. That way I could show off the full graphic to all of you. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at all of these, and I want to start with the Fortnite ones, because these actually come directly from the game. Now, unfortunately, Minifigure Factory only prints on white torsos, so Zane's is pretty much perfect because that's the torso he has in the game. But for the other ninja, it's a little bit weird because their base color is printed on top of the white, but they still have white sides, white neck, as well as white arms and hands. So this is the torso you get by default. However, I'm going to customize this and put together full ninja figures for each of the Fortnite designs, so that way you guys can get a better idea of how they look on the full minifigure. Alright, here are the custom Fortnite torsos for Zane and Kai put on their respective minifigures. For the arms, the legs, the faces, and everything, I tried to match the in-game appearances to the best of my ability. However, the Fortnite designs are entirely original for Fortnite. There is no one-to-one for those minifigures. So the only official way to get the torsos is Minifigure Factory, and we don't have an official way to get the arms, the legs, or anything yet. Because they're original designs for Fortnite, they're a lot more detailed in Fortnite than normal LEGO minifigures are. They have, like, arm printing, dual-molded arms, dual-molded legs. So if you compare this to the official, like, in-game designs, it's definitely a little bit off, but I think this is the best I could do. Zane, absolutely, it would be really cool to see his dual-molded arms released somewhere with the black and silver. But yeah, as I mentioned, because his base color is actually white, this torso print actually seems a lot more complete than some of the others. I will say the Minifigure Factory prints are like a little bit light, especially like the black parts. If you compare them to like official minifigure parts like you see on the legs, the shine is just very different. So when you have it in bright lighting like this, you could see the printing lines, it looks a little bit faded. But honestly, I think it looks good enough. For Minifigure Factory, I'm actually quite happy with this. Then for Kai, I gave him the Dragon's Rising legs to have a little bit of black in there since he normally has the black dual-molded legs in the game. He's got the sleeveless arms and the one golden shoulder pad. And funnily enough, I think translated into a physical minifigure, this guy actually looks the best of the 4. Like, the red being printed on top of the white torso is awkward, don't get me wrong, but honestly, it doesn't look as bad as I'd expect. The red is definitely very vibrant on top of everything, and I don't know, with the yellow arms, the red legs, the red half mask, the golden armor, this printing does not feel nearly as awkward as I thought it would. So this does feel like a very official version of the Fortnite Kai minifigure. Here he is with the armor and master move though, so you can see that full front torso print. Of course, he's got his symbol right there, the little like black detailing on the sides. And there is a matching back torso print for him where he's got his symbol from Season 11. That's the symbol they just use in all modern sets these days. But yeah, it's the one first introduced in Season 11. Honestly, I think this guy looks great. I'm very happy to have him in my collection. Obviously, being printed on top of red would be better, but the white's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. And then Zane, the actual torso print's perfect, he just doesn't have enough of the other parts. But still, I'm happy the printing is at least on the right color for him. And then next up we have Jay and Cole, and these two are definitely a little bit more awkward. The white on these two feels a lot more obvious than the white on Kai, especially on Cole, just because it is such a difference in the black that he has everywhere else in his color scheme. Starting with Jay though, in the Fortnite game he's got this hoodie design, and this design does come straight out of the game, with again his Season 11 symbol on the back, but he's got these little white hoodie strings that come down the front. I'm not the biggest fan of that design in game, and it's definitely the hardest to find parts that match it. Because the other thing with Jay is, in the game, he uses a hood piece that doesn't exist. It's the Time Twins hood in dark blue, and we've only ever had that part in black and dark green, I believe. So you can't actually give this guy the proper hood he's supposed to have. Instead, you just have to pick out a different ninja hood. I think this one, the Legacy hood, looks okay, and I gave him the Legacy legs as well to match. Jay does not have gloves in the game, so I reflected that here. But yeah, that combined with the printing on the white torso, definitely a bit awkward. I do definitely like that these designs were released through Minifigure Factory, but it is a real shame there's no way to get them on the proper colored torsos. And then we have Cole, who I think looks alright, but I also worry he has too many dark colors. And in Minifigure Factory, when you're printing a lot of dark colors, sometimes they come out a little bit awkward, and I think that's definitely the case here. Number one, the color matching. I mean, look at the darkness of the torso versus the darkness of the legs. Those are definitely not the same color just with the way the light reflects. The torso is much more reflective. And I also feel like a lot of the finer details are lost here. Like, you have this gray trim to the robe and these little gray folds in it, but all those dark colored lines become a bit fuzzy and just mesh together. That's honestly kind of the case with J2 with the darker parts around the edges. Minifigure Factory does a lot better with light colors compared to dark ones. Legs, I gave him the Season 11 legs, which I think actually fit this design really well. His armor is the Dark J armor from Dragon's Rising Season 2, or just the regular armor from Dragon's Rising Season 3. And then he's got his headband hairpiece, which was actually only ever seen on the island with the orange headband. Because that's what he has in-game. It's a shame this part's not more accessible because it is only on that one minifigure, but it does look very cool. And here's what the torso looks like with the mask and armor removed. And there's a look at the back torso print, where again you have that Season 11 design. A bit weird that Zane doesn't have it, but the other three do. And again, the orange jumps out perfectly, but the black and gray all just blends together. And yeah, the white on the edges is definitely a lot more awkward in these two than it was on Kai. So yeah, I think it's cool to have like an official way to get the Fortnite designs, and they are one-to-one from the game. I do like the designs in-game, but I still just maintain I wish there was more options for Minifigure Factory to print on different colors, because these are absolutely not built to be white torsos. That's it for the Fortnite designs, so we're going to move a little bit quicker through the next few. These are the sticker designs, so as I mentioned, you're able to resize these, add as many as you want to the torso. I decided just to get one of each sticker really big, but yeah, if you wanted to have an entire torso covered in lots of these, you could. Here are the first two torsos I designed. I've got myself and Chokun modeling them. There are stickers of each of the 6 original Ninja Season 11 symbols in these little orange circles. So here we have Zane's symbol, the Ninjago letter Z, and Kai's symbol, the Ninjago letter K. And if you turn them around, I put a magic sticker on the back, though of course you're free to customize this however you like. That front print does not have to go with this back print, and because they're stickers, you can move them around. But we have the Source Dragon of Focus symbol and the Source Dragon of Motion symbol. And these I like a lot. I think they're really cool stickers. I love the colors on them with the gold and whatever the element is. So Focus has like the icy blue, Motion has that fiery red. I think those turned out amazing. It would be really neat to do a torso with all 6 Source Dragon symbols on it. These ones, I mean, I guess they're cool stickers to have, but definitely as a solo design on the shirt, they look kind of lame. As an option, though, I don't mind them. You can, like, design your own ninja torso and put this in the corner to be like, yeah, this is a Zane suit, this is a Kai suit. Next up, we have the same symbols for J and Cole, the Ninjago letter J and the Ninjago letter C. And turning them around, we have the Source Dragon of Energy and the Source Dragon of Strength. Again, color is really cool here. I especially like Source Dragon of Strength with that orange around that rocky black. Energy is maybe a little bit awkward because it's like a lighter blue surrounding a dark blue. And again, when you have those colors so similar in Minifigure Factory, they tend to blend together. But honestly, because it's a sticker and it's not like a full torso, I still think it works. These both look great. And finally, for the ninja symbol stickers, we have Nia's symbol right here and Lloyd's symbol right here. Of course, the Ninjago letter N and the Ninjago letter L. And if we turn them around, I've got their matching Source Dragon symbols. Flow's a little bit awkward because they wanted to use Nia's colors, so it's blue and gunmetal gray. And I don't think gunmetal gray translates the best in Minifigure Factory because it's not all shiny, it's just a matte color. So it's not gunmetal gray, it's just gray. And while that's a Nia color, I don't really feel like that fits the Source Dragon of Flow. I mean, I guess we've never technically seen the Source Dragon of Flow, but I think sticking with all blue would have looked better here. The blue is very vibrant though, and I love how that looks. And then Source Dragon of Energy, I think, again, the colors are great. They use regular green and dark green, and I don't think there's like any color blending there. Both feel very distinct on this torso. I like how this turned out. Then we have a couple more full torso designs. This is again Source Dragon themed just like the stickers, but unlike the stickers, it's the full torso, right? So you can't move this around, you can't change the size. And this is another one where I like it in theory, but the fact that it's printed on white really makes it suffer. The Source Dragon of Strength, I mean, the orange looks cool against the black. It's just then the black's on top of the white. Energy, though, this might be one of the worst Minifigure Factory designs I've ever seen. The lighter blue is not nearly light enough, so it all just blends together and looks like a dark blue shirt, printed on top of a white torso. I don't know why you would get this one. I only got it for completionist's sake. I do not recommend this one at all. And for what I've seen, if you order these online, there is actually matching back torsos, where it's entirely printed that color, but it's got like a little hoodie draping down, or like the neckline to the back of a shirt. However, when I went in person to the New York LEGO store, those back torso print options were not available, so I just did the Source Dragon stickers again. But honestly, if you guys want to make a custom Source Dragon shirt, I think these look a lot better than this. This is okay, just awkward because it's printed on top of white. This just looks really bad, though. And then here are the Source Dragon of Focus and Source Dragon of Motion. Focus is, of course, the best looking of all of them because it actually utilizes white in the design. It is still supposed to be a blue shirt that's printed on top of instead of being white. But it sort of works. It's almost like a sweater that has a blue front but a white side. So I like how that looks overall, but again, I think this just looks better. And then Motion's not as bad as Energy, but it's pretty close. The dark red's just way too dark to be printing this entire torso like that. The red underneath just does not pop out at all. And then yeah, like I said, online there is back torso equivalents for these, but those were unfortunately not available in the New York store when I went. And then the final torso we have to look at is another torso that utilizes the sticker feature, or not sticker, decoration. I don't know why I've been calling it sticker this entire video. They're called decorations. I guess I should make it clear it's not actually stickered, right? This is a print. It's just in the Minifigure Factory application, decorations are treated differently than full torso designs. But yeah, this is another decoration where you can move it, resize it, whatever, and this is probably my favorite of the bunch. It's the Woo Crew logo. Now, Woo Crew we haven't seen since, like, 2018, I want to say. It's in the Old Town this year, which I think is awesome, and I think that's what this is supposed to be. It's meant to tie in with the Old Town. But I think it's so awesome to be able to use the Woo face on a torso. So for this one, I just got the same thing front and back. This one's a little smaller, a little more rotated. But yeah, both of them are just the Woo Crew logo. And honestly, this is probably a torso I'm going to use for my sig fig every now and then. I like swapping my torso back and forth in some of my bigger videos, and I think this one's a lot of fun. And it's one of the better looking ones too, right? There's no awkward colors that are hard for it to print. This feels like it makes sense on a white torso. But there we go, that is all 15 torsos that I got at Minifigure Factory. I believe all of these are still available. Everything but the Fortnite one is available online at lego.com if you go to Minifigure Factory there. So if you're interested in any of the designs here, or you just want to make your own, you can go get those there. The Fortnite ones are unfortunately not available online, so I'm not sure if they're still in LEGO stores, but I think they are. However, it's only at LEGO Flagship stores that had the full Minifigure Factory, which, like in the US, I know that's in New York City, it's in Orlando. I'm not sure what other US stores have it. And a lot of the European LEGO stores I've been to also have Minifigure Factory. In terms of what I'd actually recommend you guys pick up, honestly, probably only the Fortnite designs. And that's honestly just if you're a fan of Fortnite, they're cool to have, and these are, like, official ninja suits. I do really like the Woo Crew design. If you guys are as big a fan of this as I am, definitely get this one. But honestly, these designs are underwhelming. There's definitely some fun stuff you could do with the Source Dragon symbols if you want to play around with those. But I think those would look best in a custom design rather than just printing the sticker like I did. But the ninja symbols and the yellow circles, not the most interesting thing in the world. And then this is printed pretty poorly, this is like printed alright, and then these two are not super exciting. And while the Fortnite designs are definitely flawed, I mean, it's just cool to have these complete figures. Zane and Kai especially, I think, turned out really good. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of all this in the comments below. What do you think of Minifigure Factory in general? Do you like these designs? Do you not like them? I actually have some more coming soon because there was more than just this released. It was in 2 separate drops, so stay tuned for another video soon covering the rest of the torsos. But as for this one, I think that's about all I have to say. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, use code BRICKSBYMIND in the Fortnite item shop, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.